TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Jamari. He did a great video on Johnny Somali. Great news, guys. The mofo is actually getting locked up for 3 years in Japan. That's intense. I wonder if it being locked up in Japan is anything close to being locked up here in the United States. But please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
So it has been around a month since that horrible streamer Johnny Somali faced his ultimate fate at the hands of the Japanese authorities. This guy had been running around Japan for months being a public nuisance for his in-real-life stream. He got his first taste of attention off of acting like an idiot, so he kinda just kept that train rolling. Personally, I think being a clown out in public and in real-life streaming...
It was pretty funny when he got laid out. I applauded.
More times than not do go hand in hand, as these fools try and entertain an audience of degenerates. And despite getting checked multiple times in the streets of Japan, for some odd reason Johnny still felt invincible because the police had not stepped in to stop him. But obviously the Japanese are very patient people, and they wisely sat back and let this guy incriminate himself via his own live stream over and over again while they compiled the evidence. So eventually both Johnny and his cameraman were detained for trespassing on a Japanese construction site. It has been all over the news in Japan, and it looks like this guy might really be in some major trouble. And the most hilarious part to me is that as he was being taken away, he was shouting for his stream moderators to call the embassy.
Yeah, I did hear them saying, call the embassy, call the embassy. Yeah, when shit goes down, now you need the government to step in, huh?
Like they hold any sort of power outside of his smelly Discord server.
Yeah.
Hey, can I speak to a lawyer? Can I speak to the embassy? Somebody call the embassy. Mods, call the embassy. Mods, call the embassy. Call the embassy, guys. Mods, call the embassy.
That's how you know that his brain was diluted beyond belief. And today I do actually have some updates for you guys that suggest that Johnny is going to be spending quite a bit of time behind bars. So this was actually the first and really only picture to my knowledge that we have of Johnny since he was detained. This is actually from a couple of days after the whole incident occurred, and you can see for yourself as these Japanese reporters wait to get a picture of him being transported. That's a goblin right there. So he obviously still thinks of himself as some sort of local celebrity. I don't think that his brain can really comprehend the severity of what's actually about to happen to him.
I mean, is a villain a celebrity, in a sense? I guess, right?
Like, there's no amount of internet clout or even money in the world that can make someone with a rational brain want to be a criminal. Especially in a foreign country where they can pretty much do whatever they want to you. Even the guy sitting next to him, who I also have to think is in trouble, is thinking, what a clown. And don't you guys love how everything in Japan is so polite until it's not? Like, to me, it's pretty obvious that these people do not play around. And apparently there's been what's been happening to Johnny as he's been behind those Japanese bars. The Japanese government will hold Johnny Somali for 28 days. In those 28 days, they will use sleep deprivation tactics and hours upon hours of interrogation to break his mind.
They're gonna torture the man? I'm not a big fan of torture, but I can't.
And force him to confess his crime of trespassing. And I don't even know if he really has to confess. I mean, they got him on camera in 480p. Once he confesses, it says Japanese have a 99% conviction rate. So pretty much once they decide it's time to take you in, you already know you're kind of screwed. They will sentence Johnny to 3 years in prison. Then they will deport him back to America once he finishes his sentence. There is no early or good behavior parole in Japan.
Damn.
Does anyone else have
Straight
the feeling
3
that
years.
Johnny's the type of guy to act tough for the cameras? And he's probably over there crying behind bars while they slap his hand with a ruler. And so here's where things get really interesting. So like I mentioned, they could hold him for those 28 days. But like I talked about before, they sat back and gathered so much evidence, so many different offenses, that they can keep recharging him and keeping him for 28-day period after 28-day period. So they say Johnny Somali arrested again in Japan, this time for unauthorized kickstream in restaurant. And when they say rearrested, they mean he's just like further detained. It's not like he got out and then like was on stream again and got in more trouble. No, this is all from stuff he did before they went and got him the first time. Since then, he has never been a free man. And here's where we get more details. So, in the case of Ismail Ramsey Khalid, also known as Johnny Somali, a nuisance internet distributor of US nationality, so yes, he was not Somali this entire time, or named Johnny, who was arrested on suspicion of trespassing on a building for breaking into a construction site, the Osaka Prefectural Police South Station decided on the 12th to rearrest him on a suspicion of obstruction of business for causing a nuisance, such as live streaming without permission at a restaurant in Osaka City. And we know how many times that Johnny went out and was just treating Japanese employees and Japanese citizens like absolute dirt. I mean, there must be hundreds of clips they have of him being a public nuisance. And for every single one of those incidents, it's like, here, have another 23 days. Have another 23 days. And since this news broke, people have been trying to figure out which clip exactly was the one that did him in. But like I said, there is so many that it's kind of hard to tell. But shout out to this guy, Jeffrey J. Hall. He's one of the main people that has really kept up with the coverage in this situation. So here's one incident in a restaurant.
Sent $5, we need to destroy your mental health. We need you either in jail or Africa.
Okay, so I had to mute it because it's once again playing a racist song over his speaker like it has done in the past for a donation. And what the hell is this man wearing? Is that a maid's outfit? You know this boy Johnny got some sweetness to him.
Oh, you're gonna get put in jail. We're gonna go to jail, bro. I don't know what. I know that's it.
I guess all these aren't bad. Love you, Johnny.
I love you, Mustafa.
I'm like a little bit confused at where he's getting all this money and all these things just to travel and do all these things. I don't think he's making that much money off of streaming. Like, at least I don't make that kind of money off of my YouTube to be able to do these things.
So they're playing like some nuclear bomb sounds in this Japanese restaurant, very loud over this speaker, and they're expecting for nothing to happen to them. I mean, that's like some end of the world type shit right there. So as you guys can see, the couple of other people that were sitting in the restaurant just got up and left. And can you really blame them? Like, anyone with any sort of social awareness sees three men come in here dressed like idiots with cameras strapped to their chests, and then they start playing crazy shit over this speaker. Like, anyone with a brain is just gonna bounce.
Shout out Somalia! Somali community! Where's the music?
This right here is the face of two men you would definitely have to watch your drink around at a party. So here a Japanese TV channel aired portions of what appears to be a clip of Johnny Somali causing trouble in a Gyuden restaurant on another occasion. He says here if it happened on a different day, police could use it as evidence for yet another rearrest.
It's my country music. My country music. My country. No music. My country. No music. My country.
Oh, youth nowadays, man. Like, this is what kids are watching or like to watch nowadays. Like, people causing issues for other people, causing issues for other, cultures, countries. Kind of sad that there's a lot of men out there that are lost and consuming this stupid shit and enjoying it, like the other side of what we do is, when women say there's not a lot of good men out there, there's pretty shitty men. I can agree with that too.
He's calling somebody. We gotta eat some else. We gotta eat some else. We gotta go.
And in this clip, we see a professor of law talk about the process when it comes to someone being jailed and re-jailed, rearrested time and time again. And many suspects and defendants here in Japan have had to endure this situation. From the very first moment of arrest, society presumes that the subject is guilty. Like we said, they have that 99% conviction rate. And if detained, the suspect will be held for up to 23 days before getting indicted. In addition to this, the suspect can repeatedly be arrested and detained for another 23 days under different charges, which is what they're going to be doing to Johnny. meaning that these 23 days will be repeated multiple times. So from everything we're
Do these 23 days get added on to the 2 years or the 3 years, or is it extra? I wonder about that.
seeing here, it sounds like Johnny is absolutely donezo. And like I said before, Johnny's community is basically filled with a bunch of basement dwellers. So I do have to censor a lot of the Discord screen right here, but the point is, this guy says Johnny Somali update, all his moderators have left. Johnny Somali's lead moderator, a loser who lives with his mom, T-Rel, deleted the general chat and is now trying to sell his Discord channel. And then it's literally just a bunch of people saying horrible things. And the thing is, this type of degenerate behavior sadly just spreads like a cancer.
Yes.
They see one guy getting popularity off doing something
That's the shitty thing about this. You know, it's funny that YouTube cracks down on our content and the content that we do, the Manosphere content and Red Pill type content. But they don't crack down on like these prankster type contents that are way more detrimental to society, in my opinion, than anything else. It's just like once again, like he says, one person gets popular off of doing stupid shit like this. Guess what? A lot of other young kids are gonna do similar shit because they see it that they're gonna get popular off of it. It just creates more degeneracy.
stupid, and other people feel inspired in their very small brains to do the same, I guess.
Yeah.
Try to get their 15 seconds of fame. And so now we're getting videos like this.
Thank you. Oh, it slipped out my hand. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
I'm sorry.
No.
That won't happen again.
And that is why it is important
Shout outs to that girl. She just looked at him and was like, no problem. And the motherfucker did it again. These people are just trying to live their lives. You know, they work at their crappy Starbucks job. Okay, you know, I don't want to say crappy Starbucks job, but it's not a job that most people are, you know, like dreaming of. They're doing it because they need to pay bills. You know, and you're just making their lives more miserable at their job. Like, stop it. Stop it.
to make an example of people like Johnny Somali. Just remember, guys, when you post something on the internet, it could be there forever. And the stupider stuff that you post, the more likely it's gonna catch someone's attention who is gonna save it. But y'all let me know what you guys think about this whole situation down below. As always, I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy the Tan Superman, and some other clowns out here need to be covered, so I'm out.
That was some great chow. Justice, you know. Shout out to Jamari, always covering great topics. You know, he's like a little news channel that, you know, independent news, which I do enjoy better than, you know, legacy media. So, hey, don't be stupid, guys. Don't be doing stupid shit like this and expecting, you know, you're gonna be popular or whatever the fuck it is. You know, go to these countries, experience the culture, enjoy the culture, enjoy the people, the food, the entertainment. Don't go causing trouble, because you will find it, and certain countries are not going to take you the same way that they take you in the US. They will fuck you up. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.